The Academy Awards, everybody's favorite award show. Everyone loves the Academy Awards so much, the Golden Globes acts like the neglected sibling that is always drunk, high, or mentally incapacitated. Except, how does it really work? How do people really win the glorious golden statuettes? I am going to try and explain this within 7 minutes. The staircase to get to the final awards show has several steps, and we'll start with the very first. Check the rules. Let's say you made a movie and you think this movie is so cool that it would win every single Oscar. Your movie needs to follow certain rules to even be eligible for an award. Assuming you made a feature-length movie, then your movie 1 needs to be at least 40 minutes long, 2 should be released in 35mm or 70mm if shot on film, or released in 24 or 40 frames per second with a minimum resolution of 2048 by 1080 pixels, that's 2K, if shot digitally. 3 needs to run in a commercial theater in Los Angeles County 3 times a day with one screening between 6 and 10 p.m. for at least 7 days consecutively. 4 cannot be released on a streaming service like Netflix or Hulu unless it was streamed for at least 1 day after it was released commercially. 5 needs to be released between the 1st of January and the midnight of the 31st of December, the year prior to the actual award show. If your movie is not a feature-length movie in English, then some rules change depending on which category your movie falls under. For instance, if your movie is a foreign language film, then it is exempt from the must be screened in Los Angeles rule, but it also has a new only one movie can be submitted by each country rule. If the rules apply to your movie and you are now eligible, then great, because now we go to step 2. Asking for consideration. Producers of your movie will make a long list of screen credits for the roles that people played in your movie. The producers of La La Land, for instance, would list Ryan Gosling as lead actor, Emma Stone as lead actress, and Damien Chazelle as a director. This usually is in the form of a document that is submitted to the Academy. Once submitted, the Academy checks whether your movie is eligible to contest for the listed credits, and if it is eligible, then your movie is added to a morbid-sounding list called the reminder list of eligible releases. Once your movie makes it to the reminder list, we go to step 3. Nominations. For your movie to transition from the reminder list to the nominees list, it will need to be nominated by the Academy governors. Who are the governors? The Academy governors are the group of people who get to do the voting. In other words, they decide if a movie wins the Oscar or not. To become an Academy governor, one needs 1. At least 2 screen credits to their name, 2. A recommendation letter from a governor from whichever branch they want to be a part of and has screen credits in. This recommendation letter is submitted to the appropriate branch in the Board of Governors, who then make the decision to make them an Academy governor. Branch is the key word here because one can only be a part of the branch of filmmaking that one has done something in, and additionally one cannot be a governor in 2 different branches. Ben Affleck, for example, is eligible to be a governor of both acting and directing, but he cannot be both. He has to pick one. The reason for this is because when the governors gather to vote, they can only vote in a category that they are a governor of. The only category that doesn't have this rule is Best Picture, in which case any governor can vote. Now we get to the longest part of the Academy process, which is the first voting round. For getting on the nominees list, the voting system used is called the single transferable vote, which CGP Grey has made an amazing video about and is in the sidebar right now. This is how it works. A governor will choose 5 candidates at the most from the reminder list and rank them in accordance with their preferences. That's why this is called a preferential voting system. Your ballot is then sent to the Academy, who sends it to PricewaterhouseCoopers, who does all the accounting work. Counting votes in the single transferable system is actually pretty interesting. We need 5 nominees, so take the total number of voters for a particular category and divide it by 6. In other words, 16.67% of the total vote. Any candidate who gets 16.67% of the total vote automatically gets nominated. It's unlikely that all 5 nominees cross this mark, but if it does, no problem. We have a list of nominees for that category. But if that isn't the case, which is always, then you'll have several candidates below the 16.67% mark. What happens here is that the person with the largest number of votes gets their votes above the magic mark redistributed. This redistribution takes place thanks to the second preference by all the voters above the magic mark, and the candidates in the second preference will get new votes. Repeat this process with the 3rd, 4th, and 5th preference till you get your 5 nominees, and you will have your list of 5 nominees. However, since Best Picture has 10 nominees, the above process is slightly tweaked. We divide the total number of voters, irrespective of branch, because this is Best Picture, by 11. Therefore, you will only need 9.09% to get nominated for Best Picture. Otherwise, the process remains the same. Another exception to this voting system is Best Visual Effects, in which case another system known as free-range voting is employed. In this system, the governors give all the movies on the reminder list a score from 0 to some number, and those who get nominated are the ones with the 5 highest scores. That's how the voting for nominations take place. Getting back to our example of your cool movie. For the sake of the video, let's say that your movie got nominated for every single Academy Award. and the nominees are announced publicly. This usually happens during the last week of January. Now we get to the last step, actually winning the Oscar. After the nominees are announced, the second round of voting begins. Unlike the previous round of voting, this uses the simple majority wins or a plurality vote to determine the winner. In other words, the governor would simply just make a vote for the movie among the nominees that they want to win. This time the voting is super top secret and only 2 people are in charge of counting these votes. The votes are counted only after the voting period is closed. They are counted and the winner is determined for each and every category. The name of the winner is then printed on a card and is placed inside a sealed envelope. The sealed envelopes are then carried to the venue personally by the 2 counters in super secure suitcases. At this point, the actual award ceremony begins. The host makes cringy jokes, and as the categories are called out, the sealed envelopes are given to the presenters, who then give the award to the winner. The winner makes an overly long speech and then walk off stage with their Oscar statuette. After walking off stage, they get the base of their statuette engraved with their name, making the winner's win official. And congratulations! You have finally won an Oscar. Well, not you, of course. You thought your movie was cool, but nobody else thought so in the final vote. You walk back home alone with no awards. But that's alright. At least now you can probably make better hypothetical movies. And when making your hypothetical movie, you will remember that it was this YouTube video that helped you understand the inner workings of the Oscars. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe, for the algorithm is watching. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.